Now, young people from across the UK and the Republic of Ireland will be given a Rotary Young Citizen Award this weekend to celebrate the inspirational work they've done in their community. The awards started over 10 years ago and rewards young people who've all undertaken extraordinary work, from tackling homelessness to saving lives. Well, two of the winners join me now. Here in the studio is Rebekah Hinton, who's helping to clothe children in her community. And, well, let's go to Joseph Cox, who's being awarded for helping the homelessness. He joins us now from our studio in Edinburgh. And first of all, Joseph, how old are you?
I'm 11 years old.
So you're 11 years old. Now, you were, I don't know, you might have been walking, might have been in a car, and you saw homeless people on the streets of your hometown. And what was your reaction?
I was just so upset about what I saw, so I just tried to change what I saw.
So you get home and you decide that. So what did you do?
I told my mum, and she got in contact with the Bethany Christian Trust, and they said that we could start collecting socks for homeless people.
And you came up with the idea, Socks for the Street. Tell me about that. Tell me how it works.
Well, we have a Facebook page and an Amazon wish list, and we collect socks, and when we feel like we've got some, and we go out into town and give them out.
And it's not just socks now, is it? You've expanded.
Yeah, we've expanded to underwear, sleeping bags, hats, scarves and gloves.
And your school, I think, has got involved. You persuaded them, and that's not easy, you persuaded them to be a drop-off point, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
How did you persuade them?
Well, I didn't really persuade them. I told my head teacher, and she was like, "Oh yeah, let's do this."
Oh, that's persuading. That works.
Yeah.
Now, you still travelled with someone else, obviously driving. And if you see someone in need, what do?
We stop the car safely, and we get out. We give them some socks, because we always carry some socks in the car.
And you've won this. You've been awarded this Rotary Citizens Award. When they told you that, how did you respond?
I was speechless. I was so happy and surprised.
And what do your friends say to you?
They were happy.
Are they really? They're a bit jealous, surely.
Yeah.
Joe, I'll come back to you in just a moment. I just want to have a quick word with Rebekah, because you've also been helping with homeless people. Just tell us a bit about why you've won this award.
So I set up a children's clothes bank. So I set it up a few years ago in my local area. So I live in Bradford, in Yorkshire, and the area that I live in is particularly deprived. There's an awful lot of child poverty. So I saw a lot of children sort of coming to school. I set up when I was 16. So there were kids that had come to school without proper coats in the middle of winter. It's freezing up north, and without proper sort of good shoes. And it's just not right. You know, we have more than enough in this country.
But what did your friends say to you? Because it's not most people's reaction. Most people just ignore it and say, well, that's how things are. But you actually decided to do something about it.
Yeah, I think it can often be that, you know, we see issues like this and it's sort of like, well, it's just too big an issue to deal with. Child poverty in the UK is humongous. But I think doing little things is, you know, just seeing something small, and it was such a simple idea, just working out a way that we can pass on clothing. But just deciding that, yeah, that actually there is something we can do about it. So.
What sort of reaction have you had from those you've helped?
Oh, it's been amazing. It's such a privilege to be able to help these people. We have an awful lot of people who are refugees from over 25 different countries around the world. People who've come literally on the back of lorries, arrived with just the clothes on their back, and being able to give them clothes. We also do like nappies for babies and pushchairs. It's just so amazing to be able to see them.
How are things sorted? How do you... You've got some sort of voucher scheme, haven't you?
We do.
How does that work?
So the clothes are sorted into ages when they're donated, and then we have a referral system whereby health visitors, schools, children's centres can refer families to us who they feel like are in need. And they arrive having been referred, and we're then able to provide them with the clothing or other items.
I mean, just looking at it, it's busy, lots of smiling faces. I mean, what sort of reaction do you get?
It's amazing. People are so grateful. And it's just the simplest things, you know, being able to give someone underwear or a coat. It's not exactly much, and yet they're so grateful for it because, yes, just being warm.
Every one of you that I speak to, you all smile so broadly when you're describing what you do. I mean, just tell us what you get out of this.
I just love it. I love being able to help people like this. I feel it's a real privilege, actually, to be able to be in a position where I'm able to do that.
You've been given this award. What does that mean to you?
It's really amazing. I feel very honoured. I think what more is that it means a lot to me for West Bowling, where I live in Bradford. It's a place which isn't in the news for good reasons most of the time. And to be able to just say, actually, there's really, really good stuff going on in Bradford. And for the volunteers who also help, it's more for them that I feel I'm really, really chuffed.
What's next for you?
Oh, I don't know. I'd love to see clothes banks in other cities across the UK.
So you'd like to take this nationally?
I'd love to, yeah. I'd love to see other places also being able to do it. It's a really simple idea. We have an awful lot of experience because we've been running it for years now of how it works with the referral system, for example.
And what have you learned about people along the way?
I think people are amazing. I'm just really encouraged by the people who I see, the people who donate, the generosity of them, but also the people who receive and the hope. People are so resilient, and some of the stories that you hear are just so awe-inspiring.
Difficult, I'd imagine, to get this sort of thing going. How did you persuade people? So
it just started really, really little. I spoke to some teachers at school and just said, you know, do you by any chance have a couple of clothes? There was a particular family who I saw. And so it started very small, but I think people, once they see an idea, they saw it working, and they jumped on board. And it grew, you know, we faced challenges. It was working out how best to do it logistically with referrals. I think people were really excited to be able to help.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you are taking this on, I mean, how will you do it? What's the plan?
I think the plan is to get in contact with local charities. I think that's the best way to do it. They'll often have links with schools, for example, and they could then refer families on. To have a sort of a base, maybe one in a city would be the way to do it, I'd suggest. And yeah, just a way to provide clothing for children.
It's difficult sitting with you now to think of you not succeeding because you seem to have that magic touch. I just want to go back to Joseph because, Joseph, you're 11 years old. You've already launched this scheme, Socks for the Streets. What's next for you?
To inspire more schools and more children to start collecting socks and to help homeless people, because they're still people, they're still alive.
Are you a bit of a nuisance in the changing room? Are you going around swiping socks from your friends?
No.
And your mum, your dad must be very proud of what you're doing.
Yeah, they're very proud.
And you're meeting, I think, is it Princess Anne this weekend? Are you a bit nervous?
A bit, but happy as well.
Well, once you've appeared on BBC News, it's downhill all the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Joseph, it's really good to talk to you. Joseph Cox there in Edinburgh, thank you very much. And Rebekah, I just want to end, because it is something, talking to young people, as we have done all week, who've all been awarded this. Do you accept that you are inspirational?
I really hope so, because I really believe that an awful lot of young people out there, if they just see an idea, grasp what, as we've seen with Joseph as well, just a little idea and run with it, then, you know, young people have massive potential to make a difference, and I'd love to see more doing that.
You're quite proud of yourself?
Yeah, I'm quite proud.
Well, you should be. And many congratulations, and thank you so much for talking about it.
Thank you so much.
Rebekah Hinton, there. Makes you feel about that size, doesn't it, when you talk to people like that? You're watching